In this video, I will be walking you through step by step the notes in third position with a finger pattern of 2 and 3 touching. If you think about when you first learned the violin and first learned first position, this was the first finger pattern you learned with 2 and 3 touching. We'll go ahead and get started on the A string. I'm tuned to a 441A. So if you'd like to tune to a 441A to be sure that your pitches match with mine, you can do so. What I'd like to do first is set your hand frame. No matter what position you are learning, it's good to know your hand frame. Hand frame is basically the distance between the 1 and the 4. When we play in third position, we stay the same as if we were playing in first and we're moving up into third, so we're not falling under, okay? And we'll find the D first, so you can play your open A, and then first finger for D. And you can check it with your open D to make sure you're in tune. If you need to, start in first and play A, D with the third finger. And then take it up, do the same but with the first finger. Okay, and it's also a good practice, take the hand away and come back and land right on that spot. Okay, now we're gonna find the fourth finger, so we go from D to G. So our fourth finger on the A string is G. And you can check this with your open G. Make sure it's in tune. It'll also ring. It'll resonate that open G string. So then we have D to G. And this is a perfect fourth, so it'll sound like the wedding march. Okay, so this is your first thing you want to practice here. Is that 1 and 4. And practice it over and over. Okay, so you can even play quarters, eighths, triplets, and 16ths. And just really listening that that fourth finger is coming down in tune every time. If you find that you need more fourth finger work in third position, you can check out my fourth finger studies in third position. So once you've got that set, you feel the distance between the 1 and 4, what I'd like you to do is to go back into first and feel the distance between the 1 and 4 in first position. You can play this with a drone of open E. Now the reason I had you go in first to play that in first is because I want you to feel the difference here. In first position, it's a lot wider than when we go up into third position here. You can even play this with a drone of open D. Okay, so that's just a good reference to know, okay, 1 and 4, a little bit wider in first, and a little bit closer together in third. All right, so now that we have that set, we're gonna get to know the notes in between the 1 and the 4, in between our hand frame. So we have D to E. So your second finger is E, you can check it with your open E, that it's in tune, and then just repeat that over and over again. Same idea, you could play them as quarters, and then eighths, and then triplets, and 16ths. So you can practice that second finger coming down as the E. So then we have our third finger, which is going to touch the 2. We're going to do the 2 and 3 touching. And so that is F. So it's a half step to F. I'll show you from the other angle here. So you can see D, E, half step to F. And you can practice the same quarters, eighths, triplets. Always check your thumb that it's nice and relaxed as well. All right, then let's go to that G, the fourth finger. And that's a whole step. So we'll take F to G. Okay, so those are our notes, D, E, F, G. And once you've done those practices, feel free at any time to stop the video so that you can implement what we're talking about here. Once you have that set, then you can have fun playing from the fourth finger down, G, F, E, D, and back up. You can play separate, you can play them slurred. And then I would practice from the 4 to the 3, and 4 to 2, and then 4 to 1. 4 to 2, 4 to 3, and then 4 to 1. All right, then you can reverse it with those starting from the 1. Just make sure your hand does not flip out as you play the 1, that you stay nice and hovered over the spots. Okay, then you can do your broken thirds. Also watch how your fingertips are coming down. The second finger is going to be coming down a little bit more inside corner to come behind that 3. So you can see how it's more in the inside corner. It's not like this, but inside corner to that 3. Okay? And the 1 is also on the inside corner. So you can see how those fingers are coming down there. All right, so that is the A string. We're going to take it over to the E string. Actually the same premise. We'll find the A in first. You can play with your open A, and then find it in third. We're going to set our hand frame between the 1 and 4, A to D. Such a beautiful note, that D. So you can play your open D to check, make sure you're in tune. You can also play a drone with your open A, so you can hear how that vibrates. Same idea, repeating 1 to 4, A, D. Okay, making sure that that fourth finger lands accurately every time. The notes between 1 and 4 are B and C. The 2 and 3 touching here. We have our half step between the 2 and the 3. Before we do this, if you want to do that same check, A to D, down into first position F sharp B, so you can feel that distance, and then come up into third and feel that distance, that it's just a little bit closer together. Okay, so we have A, B, C, and D. 2 and 3 touching. So I'll show you from this side as well, how those fingers are coming down. Always check your thumb, make sure it's nice and relaxed. A, B, C, D. And we'll do the same. We'll do starting from the 4 and understanding the relationship of the 4 to the other fingers. So D, C, D, B, D, A, and we'll do that again. D, C, D, B, D, A. So we'll start from the D, go down, and then we'll go back up. So you want to repeat this at least 5 to 10 times. And actually lift your one off and reset it. So you can practice that distance between the 4 and the 1. Okay, so then take it from the first finger, A, B, A, B, A, C, A, D. Now, as you see, the left hand should stay very silent and solid. It's not moving around. It's just staying right there and your fingers are doing the work. Always watching out that the thumb is relaxed and that this is not collapsing or coming under the violin. And then go ahead and do your broken thirds, A, C, B, D. And coming back down. Okay, so let's take it over to the D string. Same exact formula. We're gonna play D to G in first, and then we'll take it up into third. All right, and we'll set the hand frame 1 to 4. So we have G to C. Again, perfect fourth, wedding march. Okay, and set that. Really feel that how that works, that distance. Remind yourself in first position the distance between 1 and 4. And then take it up into third position. And you can play with the drone of an open G. And just really listen that each pitch is truly centered. And then we're gonna give it a go. So we have G, C, our notes are gonna be G, A, B flat, C. So it's a half step between the A and the B flat. Let's start with the fourth finger, come down, and then go back up. All right, I'll show you from the other side so you can see how the fingers look. And then let's take the exercise of the fourth finger in reference to the other fingers. So we'll start with the fourth finger and understand the relationships with the other fingers. We'll start 4 to 1, C to G, C to A, 4 to 2, 4 to 3, C to B flat, and back to C to G. It's good to know how those fingers land after you've played a different finger. So it's good at times to lift your fingers off in this study so you can understand really that relationship, how that works. And then let's go ahead and play starting from the C, down to G, back up to C, and then our broken thirds. All right, so let's take it over to the G string. Our notes in the G string are C, D, E flat, F. We're gonna go through the same exact process, understand the distance between the 1 and 4 in reference to first position distance of 1 and 4, back up into third position, followed by the same exercises. So we'll start in first to hear G, C. Again, wedding march, perfect fourth. And now with first finger. Okay, so let's go ahead and play C to F. All right, while you're working here on the G string, do just check into your left arm, how it's operating, that the elbow is coming underneath the violin a little bit more. Since we're on the G, the thumb is staying relaxed. You have a little bit of a space here between your hand and the shoulder of the violin. We don't want to play resting on the shoulder of the violin. That's like playing with crutches. So we need to have that space, no matter what string you're playing on in third position. But in the G, sometimes it's easy to get that to crunch in. We don't want that to happen. So you see how the elbow is angled in? And we're keeping the same alignment here on the G string. Okay, so C to F. So let's take it down into first position and remind yourself the distance between 1 and 4 in first. With that that drone, and then we're going to take it up into third, C to F. So it does feel quite a bit smaller. Now, the other thing about the G string is it's a thicker string. So when we move up into higher positions on the violin, the distance between the string and the fingerboard is a little bit higher the further you go up, also depending on the cut of your bridge. So do keep in mind that the fingers are going to have to come down a little bit stronger, especially that fourth finger here on the G string in third position. So you may want to just practice popcorn fingers, fourth finger coming down, and that it's truly just the finger that's coming down, okay? That it's not the hand that's causing that motion, that it's truly the muscles in the finger that's bringing that down. Okay, so let's start from 4, the F, and we're going to go down to the other fingers and understand that relationship. So F to C, keeping that first finger inside corner on its tip, and then F to E flat, F to D, and it doesn't matter which order. If you want to do F, C, F, D, F, E flat, up to you, okay? And then F to E flat. Let's come down, F, E flat, D, C. So going down and up, tapping your thumb, making sure you're not clamping or having tension there. And then our broken thirds, C, E flat, D, F. F, D, E flat, C. Truly, truly beautiful. Now, as you're working in third position, it does involve a little bit more of a coming under the violin. So you may feel a tiny bit of tightness in your bicep here as you're working in third, and that's okay. You're going to just get that muscle worked out, and it's going to become easier and easier the more time you spend in third position. The final exercise is to play this finger pattern across the strings, all 4 strings, and then coming back down. Now, if you're a visual person and you really enjoy seeing the notes on the page, these exercises are in my Master Third Position book that you can immediately download and work with that, with the notes. The specific exercise of going across the string, all 4 strings with this finger pattern, is written out in that book. If you're watching this video outside of the e-course and you would like to learn more third position with finger patterns, you can find a link in the description below or in the corner of this video. Now, one thing to keep in mind as you're working in third is that the hand doesn't fall under and the fingers go across this direction. They truly move across this way. Okay, that was an exaggerated motion, but you see how that works. It's not, we're set here and then we wrap under. I've seen this so many times. And this is why violinists play out of tune and they find third position really difficult, because this is occurring. As a precursor to playing across the instrument, what I'd like you to do is just play the ones, keeping your hand open. We're going to play G, C, D, G, A, D, and E, A. Now you're going to find either you're going to go flat or you're going to go sharp as you move across the instrument, and you have to make an adjustment. So even though the line is straight across, if you think about it, like when you first started on the violin, if you ever had those tapes put on the violin, they were straight across. But when we play, there's almost like an optical or physical illusion that we are working with, that we have to adjust in an angled way and not a straight across way, okay, as we move across. So keep that in mind. G, C, lift the 1 and reset. Lift the 1 and reset. Lift the 1 and reset. All right, so no this going on. All right, so let's go ahead and do the same with the 4th finger. So G, F, it's going to sound kind of strange because it's a minor 7th. D, C, A, G, E, D. All right, You could also do your hand frame across the instrument. And then coming back down. Okay, so I played that really quick, but you get the gist and you can practice that. Now, let's play the finger pattern across the instrument. So it's not going to sound like a scale because that's just the way it works on the violin. We can't play this finger pattern across the instrument and have it sound like a specific scale. We're just doing this for the notes, and I want you to think your note names as you're playing it. So check your C. This is another mistake I see violinists make all the time. They don't check with their open strings if they're in tune or not. So always check, because you could start here and think you're in third, but you're really not. So always check that you're solidly in third position. So we have C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, C. Now you see this first finger, he's free and he's ready to go before I even played the 4. So just free your 1 in time so he can set down again. D, E, F, G, free that 1, A, B, C, D. And then come back down and think your note names as well. Have fun getting to know your notes and finger pattern in third position, plus the distances between the fingers, including your 1 and 4, relating it to first to truly understand that the distances do get smaller as you're in third position. Ciao.